All right, got a Dodge Caravan here. It's a 2011. The customer had a failed fuel pump relay inside the fuse box, and these are not replaceable. It's inside the control module part in here. So they did the bypass fix, which allows you to plug it into the cigarette lighter one, or that's where everybody's plugging in, is the cigarette lighter. And then anytime the ignition's on, the fuel pump would run, and then you'd be able to start the car and go again. Well, here's the problem with this one. Modern fuel pumps, intake fuel pumps, have a one-way check valve in them, so that when you turn the key off, fuel doesn't run out of the lines back into the tank. So the next time you go and start it, the motor's already primed, it fires right up. After the initial cycle of fuel pressure, it'll start right up. Now, with this fix, if your check valve goes bad in the fuel pump, overnight, the fuel will drain back down into the fuel tank and you'll have no fuel in the line. And since it's plugged into the cigarette lighter one here, you turn the key on, it'll start the fuel pump running, but then when you turn the motor to crank it, it doesn't have any power to the fuel pump while you're cranking, because it's a cigarette lighter fuse. Those don't get power while cranking. So it'll crank forever, and there's no fuel pressure because the fuel pump's not running. That's problem number one with plugging it in right here in the auxiliary cigarette lighter. The other problem is while you're sitting in the car with the key in the on position, listening to the radio or whatever, but the engine's not running, the fuel pump's running the whole time, just running, which causes a big drain on the battery, and it's just wear and tear on the fuel pump for no reason. The better fix for this, in my opinion, I'm sure somebody else might find an even better one, but if you, in the fuse box here, in this location, it is M21. And if you look at 21 right here, it is ASD number 3. Automatic shutdown relay number 3. This relay actually acts exactly like a fuel pump relay. When you turn the key to the on position, it primes the fuel pump for, 2-3 seconds like it's supposed to, and then it turns off. And then while you're cranking the motor, it puts power to the fuel pump. And these relays, the ASD relays, go to things like fuel injectors and ignition coils and things like that. And also, after you shut the engine off, it'll keep power to it for about 5 seconds or so, like a lot of cars do with the fuel pumps as well. So this is a much better location than the cigarette lighter, which was a dumb location. I don't know why anybody would ever put it there. Just because it's probably easy and nobody thinks properly. And the wire fix thing here, it fits in here really well, snugly, in the number 21 fuse location, right up against that relay. And I'll show you here how it works, if I can do this with multiple hands here, so we can get it on video. You'll see the LED light up when I turn the key. When I turn the key on, you'll see it'll prime and then turn off. See it priming? Now it turned off. The key's still in the on position, but watch when I crank it. See how it got power while it was cranking? And now I'll turn the key off. Now see, the fuel pump's still running for just a couple of seconds. And then it'll shut off. Click. just shut off. So that is much better. And that'll keep this car going without having to replace the fuel pump because the check valve has failed.